Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. This one is captaincy model for game week 18. So we'll have a look at the game week 18 numbers in a minute, but to begin with, we'll have a look at how it got on in game week 17. As you can see on screen, only 4 of the 10 players actually returned, but the ones that did returned big. So Salah was a fair amount ahead of Palmer, to be fair, and the swing was absolutely brutal between the two. So 21 points for Salah, obviously 3 points for Palmer. The Everton defence has just been quite good recently. Obviously that's now a goalless draw against Chelsea and also against Arsenal. So Everton are not a team to target anymore like they were a few weeks ago or at the start of the season. Fernandes was in third, a fair amount behind the likes of Salah and Palmer though, to be honest. He blanked, although his underlying numbers were pretty good, to be honest. So I think if you are a Bruno owner, you can be encouraged by that. Isak, of course, got the hat-trick, 17 points. Those of you who captained Isak were probably feeling quite good at the end of Saturday, although I don't think there was loads of people that would have captained Isak, to be honest, not with Salah playing at Tottenham. But yeah, Haaland continues to disappoint, continues to drop down this list as well, to be honest. 5th with Aston Villa away. Obviously it's not the best fixture, of course it's an away game, so it's never the best fixture anyway, but to think that Haaland would be 5th in this list is, well, we wouldn't have thought it at the start of the season anyway, after a few weeks. Then Saka obviously went off early against Crystal Palace. Pretty unlucky situation, really, given that what Arsenal went on to do after that. But he only got 1 point. Gordon managed 6 points. He's been kind of quietly getting a few returns recently. Been doing quite well, really. And Mbeumo, 2 points. That was actually disappointing from Brentford. Usually Brentford have got this fantastic home record, whereas this week it wasn't to be for them. Forest, to be fair, are a very good team, so it's not all that surprising. Bowen again is one that keeps ticking along. He got 6 points. He got the assist for Kudus' goal. So yeah, managed 6 points. And Son was bottom or 10th in this list. Now, Spurs did score 3 goals, but Son wasn't involved in any of them. The rest of the front 4 were involved, so it's really difficult with Spurs attackers and who gets involved in the goals. I mean, we've seen Solanke, when they've put up like 5 goals against Southampton and Solanke comes away with barely anything. This time it was Son's turn, so it's hard to read with those Spurs attackers. Kind of hard to trust them as well, but you know that they're going to get returns, whether it's in the week that you think they're going to get returns. It's not ideal. I mean, that's why you can't really trust them for captaincy, but they will haul every now and then. But yeah, that's the game week 17 results anyway. If you went with the top player and captain Salah, like I'm sure most people did, then you will be delighted. Let's have a look at the game week 18 numbers now. Okay, I've got the game week 18 numbers on screen now, all apart from the top 3, which I will put on screen shortly, but we'll go through the rest now. So Jackson, there's quite a lot of home fixtures this week for the big teams. So obviously Chelsea have got Fulham at home. That's why Jackson is in 10th, although there are definitely better options. 78 expected minutes is where I have got him. He's kind of a tough one. Sometimes he comes off pretty early. Sometimes he just plays the full 90. It's tough to judge, to be honest, but during this kind of congested period, I don't think I can put his X minutes above 80 at all. Then we have Havertz with Ipswich at home. Now, with Saka out, I'm sure that gives Havertz a tiny bit of penalty share, given that, well, the penalty situation at Arsenal is a tough one, because Saka will just randomly hand out penalties kind of for fun at points. But with Saka out, that means that there's probably even more kind of randomness around the penalties, although there is one penalty taker that you'd expect in Odegaard, but I'm sure that Havertz has been given a little bit of penalty share in all of this. But yeah, great fixture. I've got him at 80 minutes because he was benched the other week. I do think he just plays though, to be honest. However, we've seen that Gabriel Jesus is playing now, so whether Havertz plays up front or not is a different story. But anyway, Bowen has Southampton away, really nice fixture. It is an away fixture. I believe it is the only away fixture in this top 10, but obviously a fantastic fixture. He has the minutes. He very rarely doesn't play 90, so that's one thing you know you're getting with Bowen. If Paqueta's off the pitch, then Bowen will take a penalty, and Paqueta has been off the pitch quite a lot recently. He does tend to get subbed quite early. Sometimes Bowen plays up top as well. If they're not playing Füllkrug, then Bowen will play down the middle. Füllkrug will very rarely play 90 as well, so even if he starts, Bowen will get some time down the middle, which is always good. Then Diaz arrives in the captaincy chat this week. Obviously the fixture is unbelievable with Leicester at home. I've only got Diaz on 64 expected minutes. It's tough to know where to put Diaz with the expected minutes, to be honest. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see Jota come back in for this game, and that would mean Jota up front. So whether Diaz plays that left wing role ahead of Gakpo or not is tough. It really is tough, but I've got him at 64. He does tend to start more often than not, but obviously that doesn't take into account Jota recently. So if you think I've got his X minutes wrong, then do let me know in the comments. But yeah, I've got him at 64. If you think they're much higher, then he jumps up this table a fair bit, probably into around 5th. So yeah, kind of use your own expected minutes based on that. Then we've got Trent with the same fixture, obviously. 80 expected minutes. He got an assist in game week 17. So owners can be kind of happy. I mean, he didn't get any bonus or a clean sheet. He conceded 3 goals, so wasn't loads of points, but he did get an assist. Then we have Isak, fresh off a hat-trick, obviously. I've got him at 88 minutes. That seems pretty reasonable. He plays all the minutes available when he can, or when they're not kind of 5-0 up or something. But yeah, Aston Villa at home isn't a bad fixture. Aston Villa attack is kind of good, but the Aston Villa defence is sometimes a bit ropey. But then we've got Haaland in 4th, Everton at home. Now again, we mentioned Everton a minute ago. Typically they're one of the better fixtures, but these days I'm not so sure. Dyche has kind of sorted the defence out a little bit. So he's in 4th. I don't think many people will be captaining him anyway. So let's get on to the top 3 now. As you can see, we've got Martin Odegaard. He is probably on penalties with Saka out, and that is the reason that he is so high on this list. Also the fixture, of course, Ipswich at home. We've just seen what Newcastle did to Ipswich, so it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal put quite a few past them. And Odegaard, his minutes were a bit shaky kind of a few weeks ago, but he did play 90 at the weekend, so I've got him at 85 minutes. That might be a little bit high. If you think they are slightly lower, then Haaland probably does go above him, but you'd have to reduce his minutes quite a lot for him to go below kind of 5th, where Isak is. Then we've got the top 2, Palmer and Salah. Palmer has Fulham at home, 6.83 expected points, but there is a big gap between him and Salah. Salah is obviously the top captain this week. Leicester at home is an unbelievable fixture. There is potentially a conversation around triple captaincy, although we now know that there's going to be a double game week. If you still got your triple captain, then it's probably better to play in that double game week whenever there is that Everton is rearranged to. Just because beforehand we didn't think there was going to be this random double game week coming up. Whereas now we know there is. It's likely to be around game week 24 or 25, I believe. So if you do have triple captain, again, this is probably one of the best single game weeks to use it, but we now have a double game week that we can use it in, so there is no need to pop it this week. But yeah, if you have Salah, it's pretty simple this week. Just captain him. That's all for this one. If you liked the video, do hit like, do subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.